So that's what I recommend. 1 month at a time plan. Block out, I'm going to do something about the community. I'm going to do something about statistics. I'm going to do something about a cool house. I'm going to do something motivational. Pace it out, set a time, set your timer, and get to work.
Amy, always good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you.
So today's topic is time management with social media. Interesting topic. Tell us more about that.
Well, I think this is, whether you can manage your time on social, I think comes down to your habits. Because I know agents who are super busy right now, and they're putting out a ton of content simultaneously, and it's because it's in their habit. I think if they gave up their real estate license, they would be putting out a ton of content. It's in their habit. So if you're one of those people who just doesn't have it in your habit to post things on social, you'll have to create a habit. Otherwise, it will always be a struggle. That would be my jumping off.
Okay, so habit, and then there's also the opposite almost of people that go in and they get sucked into spending too much time on social media, maybe not posting like they should, but they're, reading, commenting, liking. Now, we want them to do that to a degree, right? To be engaged with our sphere and this and that, but we don't want them to be, stuck, right? And then an hour goes by and, they're still on Facebook, right?
Absolutely.
So it's being intentional.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry, I had to say good morning to Jessica. You're absolutely right, but this is the human malady, right? Real estate or not, we all have this problem.
Yep.
I was sharing with my son the other day that I think YouTube is the exception, because YouTube doesn't suck you down the hole. Oh, yes, it does. It happened to me the other day. I don't know why I got on there, and the time flew by. It's like someone had given me drugs. It was embarrassing. So I think for those of us who are very busy people, and right now most of us are, or we want to be, I'd say set a timer, right? Also, most of us have squirrely brains. We have adult onset ADD thanks to the age we live in. So I would say set a timer, and for me, it probably needs to be 15 minutes. And I'm not saying never spend more time than 15 minutes, but I need to be reminded at the 15-minute mark that I was supposed to be focused. So we want to start from having a plan, and then we'll get to the timer. But I'll go ahead and talk about the timer now. It's easy enough to set some lovely little chime to ring on your phone every single 15 minutes. And if you're squirrelier than that, if at 5 minutes your brain has wandered away, then maybe it needs to be tighter.
Yeah.
So, but the first thing is you need to work from a plan. Okay. If you just get on, that's going to make it easier to wander away. So we have shared here on the show, back when we were doing the Daily Dose, we created a content grid for the pandemic. All of us do so much better to work from a content grid. Charlie cracked me up. I had a coaching client come to her call yesterday morning on fire. She had been to a conference. She was like, Amy, look. And she showed me a content grid as though they had invented it. And
right.
Like, yeah, I told you this already. But, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And now I'm super excited that she will have a 1 month at a time plan. So that's what I recommend. 1 month at a time plan. Block out, I'm going to do something about the community. I'm going to do something about statistics. I'm going to do something about a cool house. I'm going to do something motivational. Pace it out, set a time, set your timer, and get to work. The other thing that you can do with pre-programmed content is you can use a scheduler like later.com. Later.com has other features as well in the paid subscription. So if you're serious about this, Charlie and I never recommend go buy things, go spend lots of money. But if you're going to use it well, it's not that costly if you take advantage of all the other features. So if you had a month's content planned out, and some of it you could plug into the scheduler, then that's off your plate and it's going to happen automatically. But you need to keep in mind, not everything can be scheduled in advance. The week statistics are going to be current when they're current, right? But other things, maybe you subscribe to This Old House and there's really cool articles, something like that. You figure out what's going to make most sense for your brand.
Got it.
Then there's another piece though, and I guess I want to speak to, I don't know, is it still a thing that people subscribe to things that post for them? I've heard less of it lately.
So we actually offer a fairly new service called Social Max, and it is run by RISMedia, and they seem to have cracked the code, and you're able to select where you want them to post, how often. It can be up to, I think it's up to twice a day, or it can be, once or twice a week. It used to be when everybody subscribed to these services, it would post the same article to every realtor's page at the same time. Right. Oh my gosh. This one uses an algorithm, so that never happens.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
So, we offer this service. If you're not, an associate with RE/MAX Allegiance and you're watching this in Atlanta, Georgia, RISMedia offers this. You can do it as a one-off. Our account, you can, obviously we offer it cheaper. But I've been very impressed with that content. And I think the agents that aren't good at this or don't want to be good at this, to have something set up so your social media does not look like a graveyard is important. And this solves the problem,
Good point. And now you're making me think that I should have prepared a document where we could show like different tiers. Because when you said if there are agents who don't want to be good at this, I think those agents though need to accept that their engagement is a placeholder and it's not going to get the dynamic results that someone else's will, right?
Yep.
So the truth is the world of social media is almost as vast as the internet itself. So it's a communication platform. It's an advertising platform. There is so much that all these social media channels, and we're talking about Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the other ones that actually, for some people, it's TikTok. I'm not one of them. But these social channels are very.
I can see Aruslam on TikTok. We'll have to ask her if she's on. She's nodding her head. Hey, Aruslam, come back on and talk to us about what you do with TikTok.
You play a song in the background and then you just dance to it, or you point to specific facts that you're discussing. It's pretty popular for teenagers right now. So, yeah. And I definitely recommend it for real estate agents who want to try something new, like showing a listing, or if they want to talk about some fun facts about real estate or give some home buyer tips and things like that.
Cool.
Interesting. So you would say that you're a TikTok power user?
I wouldn't say power user. I think my younger teenage siblings are TikTok power users. I'm more of a play around with it, fiddle with it a little bit, and then just watch a lot of TikTok videos pretty much.
I can't say I've ever even looked at the app.
All right, Charlie, now I'm wondering if Aruslam and I should develop a class on TikTok for realtors that make some attendance. That would be, I don't know, maybe a worthy challenge.
It would be. I mean, it seems to me that TikTok is here to stay, right? Sure. They worked out this whole political issue. It's so the company's not being threatened in the U.S. anymore. It doesn't seem like, and we know some people in different ecosystems that have gotten lots of followers from doing TikTok real estate videos, right? I mean, has it resulted in business? I'm not sure. It certainly skews young. Sure. But I'm sure there's some success stories out there. But I think if you're just starting, Facebook and Instagram are probably, where to just post, sometimes I think we overthink this. Sure. If you're an average agent and you're closing a deal a month and you're posting on Facebook on a semi-regular basis, right? There's no reason why you can't put your listings on your personal Facebook page, right? You're not overwhelming people with it, right? If you're posting other pictures about you and your dog, or you just ate at a new restaurant and it was lovely, So I'm not here to say that the whole page should be real estate, but I think there's a lot of people that get caught up in this whole personal versus business page. And the reality is, what's the number? 3 to 5% of people will see our posts on our business page if we don't boost or show them as ads. Right. Because that's how Facebook makes money. Right. So I hear coaching clients, they'll be like, one of my to-dos is to make a Facebook business page. And my question is always, well, great, but what's the outcome that you want? Sure. Because if it's just to post and never pay, no one's going to see it anyway. And it's frankly, I think it's a waste of time.
I do too. And boy, this topic is just mushrooming by the moment.
As usual, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to touch back to my being snarky about TikTok. That's just me, and that actually speaks to, you don't need to do everything, guys. So if I don't choose to figure out TikTok, that's okay, and there's nothing wrong with TikTok, and there are agents making money on it. The thing of it is, those of us who are currently dominating on social, we kind of need to pick a lane and stay in. Otherwise, we're overthinking it.
Yep.
But you're making such incredible points about personal versus business, and you nailed it. It was April of 2018 that the algorithm changed so that all business content is being really suppressed. And this isn't a secret. Like, I got the article from Facebook. Class. So if you're not paying, you're right, it almost won't be seen. It doesn't matter if you have 2,000 followers or not. That content is being suppressed. Now, if you really want your business content associated with an official brand, you can post to your business page and share it to your personal page. But unless it appears on your personal page, it probably won't be seen. So to your point of not being obnoxious, when we create that content grid, have a healthy rotation of truly helpful, local love, something appropriately and attractively personal, right? Motivational, inspirational, funny. Just create a nice rotation and people will enjoy seeing your stuff. But something that we have stepped over and ignored here is the true social in social media. And I'm so thrilled that Jerusalem teaches a class on this, putting the social back in social media. This is the reason the thing was designed. And so besides advertising, the way you get attention on a platform like Facebook is that you post things that people engage with.
Right.
Facebook rewards you for engagement, right? So friend more of your contacts. If you have people in your phone or in your database that aren't connections on social, connect with them on social if you're comfortable with that, right? But know that this is a communication tool for a lot of people. There are people that if I message them on Messenger, I will reach them quicker than if I text them or call them. Right. So it is a communication platform. So I would say, think about that. Think about the fact that a lot of people find that this is where they get their news. This is where they engage with people. So spend part of your day, and I wish I had a perfect amount of time, and I don't. Let's say 10 minutes minimum, or maybe 10 minutes period. Get on there and look through the list and comment on other people's things. And here's a way to absolutely manage your time. Speaking of the word list, the word list has a formal meaning in Facebook in particular. I can take all of my contacts and I can organize them in lists. I can have a family list so that if I'm posting for the third time in 2 days about my dad's sprained ankle, only my brothers and sisters see it, right? It doesn't have to be that all my clients and all my friends and agents in other states are having to see me talk about so much family stuff. So you can organize your entire sphere of influence. That's everyone who knows, likes, and trusts you and would do business with you. And that includes past clients. It's a list. Pull up your sphere of influence list. And for 10 minutes, sprint. Go through there and find wonderful things that they have posted that you can comment on. And don't heart, don't thumb, comment. The rule is 3 sentences, right? So exciting to see that your son got second place in a track meet while wearing a mask. I don't know. Maybe they don't do that. Maybe they don't run track meets wearing masks. That would be horrible. But comment, right? Look for opportunities to really engage with people. That helps to create community. So I think that that's a hugely overlooked part. We're always saying, what am I posting? What am I posting? It's not all about you, right? Make it about other people, and that's a huge part of the discipline that will get you better engagement, better followers, and better reach for your own posts.
Good. Okay, excellent. What else regarding kind of time management and social media in general?
Well, with looking ahead, making a plan, and using a scheduler, you can even schedule video content. So if you're doing a series on how to get your offer accepted or how to get top dollar or whatever it might be, maybe you have a 5-video series, you can plan these out in advance. You can put them in the scheduler, and then those are arriving and you're not having to overthink it. Another tool that I want to pitch is the one that we're on right now, which is StreamYard. When you go live on StreamYard, you can be live in 3 places at once: Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So now that's not pre-scheduled. I mean, it's not like we pre-recorded this show and and put it in the can, but we are in 3 places at once, and that is an efficiency. So Later.com, StreamYard, I recommend both of those. Putting your contacts into lists, that's going to make you more efficient. Working from a content grid, you can download the one that we created at the beginning of COVID, if that's a place for you to start. And then just really set the time each day and don't give yourself excuses. I think the other thing might be start small. Like if you're overwhelmed by everything we're offering and you're thinking, I don't have time, I'm under contract. Okay, well, do 10 minutes a day and see how you do, right?
Somebody asked me the other day, why do you go live on StreamYard? Why don't you just record the show? And I said, well, because we have to do it. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it.
Good point.
Right? It would be, oh, I've got too much going on, Amy. Let's push that show to next week. Right? But if these are live, these are live shows, but then they're in the can. They're there forever, right? All of our shows that we've done are on YouTube, right? Going back to, I think, even the Between Two Coaches shows, going way back, right? Before we even knew what StreamYard was.
True.
We found StreamYard almost by accident because there was a week that Zoom stopped working with Facebook. And we're like, oh gosh, we need to figure out another solution. That was like in May, like in the midst of the pandemic. We still really didn't know what was going on, and we had lots of people watching the show, and it was like, oh, what are we going to do? So we go live because when you schedule something live with someone else, you're much less likely to push it off and to cancel it and everything else. You just get it done.
I love this point, Charlie. I think because there's another layer to when you and I choose a topic and it's on the ding dang calendar, we prepare.
Right.
And there have been topics that I have committed to that I actually didn't know what I was going to say. I prepared, dang it. And I don't know, like you say, if we'd come up with this idea and said, hey, someday let's do a show on X, I don't think I ever would have done it.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So my son calls it throwing your hat over the fence, people. Throw your hat over the fence.
Committing to going, scheduling to go live, you're making a commitment.
Yeah, and figure it out. And we really have. Oh, that's such a good point. I love that.
What else do you have for us today on this topic?
Well, we haven't talked much about video in general. And the thing of it is, one of the best ways to manage your time on social, is first of all to set a timer and not let your mind wander. That's the number one way. The number 2 way is post things that matter. And I'm not asking you to overthink it. Charlie, I would love your pushback on me or your coaching of me, because I am such a fan of the thing that I heard at the BombBomb conference, which is be careful what you post, be careful what you send. You're educating your audience about whether or not to tune you out.
Right. Okay. Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Now, the problem with that is then that triggers the perfectionism in people who will just stall. And I understand that too. But we can all admit, we have so many emails. Heck, my text inbox is now blowing up with spam, right? So we are being overwhelmed with crap. All of us. So be careful. If you want your voice to be heard, really choose what you want to say and make it valuable. So that's where I would say that a way to manage your time is to make sure that your content has value. Please don't overthink it, but don't put up crap that's going to get lost, right?
Agreed. Yep. Very
Going
good.
live on video can be part of that. Live video does get more engagement. You might want a few plants in the audience. You hate to go live and have 0 engagement. You feel like no one's listening, but maybe you tell people, hey, I'm going to go live for my open house, or I'm going to go live and talk about such and such, and get people to promise to tune in, because the more people who engage with your live, the more Facebook will boost it and more people will see it.
Yeah, I've said before, there's no reason why all of us should not be doing a market update for YouTube on a monthly basis, right? I mean, you know the market, you get the numbers from the MLS, right, and go over them and do it live, and then it stays in YouTube, right? And do some interviews with some vendors live, then it stays in YouTube. And if you're doing this over time, you're building, almost a YouTube series. And I think we've talked about, having all of the steps outlined for buyers and sellers and doing videos around that, and then texting the videos to the buyers and sellers, right, as they go through the process.
Yeah.
So, that's a suggestion as well. But if you do some of those videos live, you're going to be getting engagement from your audience. I just see it as like a 2-for-1, right?
It really is. So I think maybe one of the last points is, if all this intimidates you, start somewhere, right? And this is sort of what we're saying about just schedule it and just do it because you'll get better. I've shared numerous times on other shows about one of my coaching clients who sent me a video, and it wasn't live on social, but he sent me a video that was his first attempt at using video at all. And it was meant to be some sort of a lead follow-up. Hi, do you want to buy a house? Here I am. And it was so painfully bad, I couldn't figure out how to give him feedback. I was paralyzed when I watched it. His face was so grim and his tone was terrible. And I just didn't know how to say, dude, like, I can't believe you even sent this to me. It's so god awful. But what's happened is he just never gave up, and extremely quickly he got good. And video is one of his best things. He doesn't overthink it. When he has a crazy idea, he goes for it. He does lifestyle videos, even for less expensive homes, and it's a huge part of what attracts even his own sphere. This is a guy who argued that he wasn't confident with talking to his sphere about lead generation.
Okay.
He didn't want to call them and say, hey, high school buddy, hey, old former coworker, I'm in real estate now. He refused to do it. He was just going after cold leads. And when he started promoting his listings and promoting his service in video consistently, suddenly his sphere came out of the woodwork. And this year he is drowning in sphere referrals because they found him. They found him online. So I would say start somewhere, start small, but create a daily habit. If you do nothing but a daily 10 minutes of engaging, years ago at the Curator Conference, they had talked about a 2-2-2, and it probably needs to be a 10-10-10. But I'll tell you what the 2-2-2 is. It's go online and find 2 people's posts to comment on. Find 2 people that you're willing to post on their wall, right? That's like the handwritten note, but with a spray can, right? But you're posting on someone else's wall. You're an amazing person. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, whatever it is. And then message 2 people in Messenger, 2-2-2. Single day, just make it a discipline. I think that's pretty small given the amount of communication we want to have. But hey, start wherever you start and grow your habit.
I like that. I think that that's a good place to leave it. So we'll leave it there. Always good to see you, Amy. Have a great rest of the day.
Thanks.